You're listening to Cross Rhythms. I'm Luke. I have the pleasure of being joined by Susie Mills. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So for those listeners out there who don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Susie. I am an independent singer-songwriter currently based in Bath. Been writing songs since I was like 12 and don't see myself stopping anytime soon.
Great. So tell us a little bit about your story and your testimony then.
Yeah, so I have grown up, always been in church and in that sort of surrounded by faith. It's always been something that's been a part of my life. And currently I'm plugged into the Orphan No More community, which is like a group of creative people that sort of explore faith together and give space to ask questions about life.
Yeah, and great. So as you said, you're a musician, singer-songwriter. So how did you get into music to begin with? Do you come from like a very musical family? Did you just pick up an instrument one day?
Yeah. My family is very, very musical, more so in the classical music world. My auntie teaches the piano, and so that was the first instrument I learned when I was 5 years old. We'd drive down every Friday and have a piano lesson with her. So it's kind of just been part of my life, ever since I've been tiny. And I've always been like singing and doing musicals and stuff. So it's kind of, it's in my blood, really.
Nice. And you said as well that you're part of the kind of Orphan No More community. So how did you get into that? Did you kind of find out about them first, or had you already kind of been starting your own little thing and then kind of joined in afterwards?
So it's mostly from moving to Bath. So I moved to Bath for uni, and I was joined the church in Bath, Life Church, and that's basically where a lot of the Orphan No More people were going. It's Josh and Kara who head up Orphan No More. They were in that church, and I just got to know them, really. I think Josh somehow heard that I was a songwriter, and he came up to me and he was like, "I've got to hear your stuff, like send me your stuff." And so it was kind of a year of meeting up for coffee and talking about music, and kind of naturally just started getting invited to the stuff that they were doing, and haven't looked back, really.
Cool, great. So just in general, what's kind of your process of making music? Everyone seems to have a slightly different way of doing it. Are you kind of more of a words person? Do you start with the lyrics, or do you start with like the melodies, or is that the third option?
To be honest, it's different every single time, but I think the way that I go to mostly is just sitting with my guitar, sort of thinking about what I'm feeling in the moment, or what I want to write about, and trying to make guitar chords that kind of represent that. And then I just start singing out sometimes and seeing if any words come to mind. A lot of my songwriting is kind of a stream of consciousness. So and then I'll sort of go back into it and think more about the lyrics and what might work and what might rhyme and sound good. So it's a very fluid process.
Oh, great. So what would you say kind of in general inspires your music? Are you very like grounded reality, like stuff you're experiencing, or is it like buy a good book? Cool.
I mean, it has been different, but a lot of the time it's to do with my own experiences. It's to do with stuff that's going on inside. Like it's a way of connecting to myself in that way and expressing how I'm feeling. But then I released a song a couple of years ago called "Maybe Would You Like to Go for Coffee Sometime," which kind of I wrote it kind of inspired by my friend who was talking about having a crush on someone, and it was really fun for me to like write in that more lighthearted space as well, because a lot of my songwriting can be quite deep, and it's nice to bring myself out of that space sometimes and have a bit of fun. So
great. Well, we shall stop there for some music and be back with Susie just after this. And we're back. I'm still here with Susie Mills. Hello. Um, so just before the break, we were chatting through kind of what inspires your music and how you kind of got into music. And so let's talk about some of your songs specifically. So the first one you released to kind of all the various platforms was Distance.
Yeah.
That's a bit about that. Like, kind of, why was that the first one? Was there a particular reason, or was it just the first one you got done?
Yeah, I think it was the first song that I had properly finished recording, mastering, and everything, and it was all ready to go. And I think it was my favorite song at the time. It was a song that I think it's the easiest song I've ever written. I wrote it in one sitting, basically like 30 minutes. It just like came out of me, which is like a lovely feeling as a songwriter to just have something come so easily. It's a really special song to me because it really expressed what I was feeling in that moment. It's a song about sort of moving on from a heartbreak, like letting go of someone you need to let go of, but not really wanting to know what the future will be because it's in that sort of vulnerable space. So that was a really special one for me.
Yeah, nice. And so you've released quite a few songs, and again you were saying that kind of a lot of it was kind of personal experience and inspired you along the way. And so you did one called Darling as well, which was with Felix Smith, who's obviously Orphan No More, and that. So tell us a bit about that one.
Yeah, so that's one that I wrote in one of the lockdowns. I was just kind of bored and just started writing this love song, and it's a song that speaks about like the simplicity of love and like not needing sort of any sort of fancy things or anything, but just having just that just simple love. And I'd written the verse and the chorus, but I was kind of stuck on it, so I sent it to Josh and I was like, hey, like, do you think you can do anything with this? And he helped me finish writing it, and I was really happy with how it turned out, and people seem to love a love song, so that's always good.
Nice. So let's talk about your most recent one, which is Nothing Like Reality. Tell us what went into that song, what inspired it.
Yeah, so I wrote that one as well, like about 4 years ago. It was during one of the lockdowns. That one very much, it was a stream of consciousness. It was when I was really struggling with the living situation that I was in, and I was kind of in my head, I was like dreaming up like of escaping, of like running away. And this song kind of talks about, it uses the metaphor like, is the grass greener on the other side? So leaning into the idea that sometimes what you're imagining in your head might not actually be the reality. So it's like I was just sort of thinking about this idea, like, should I stay? Should I run away? Like, would that fix the problem if I left? So it's a song that has all these questions in it, and it was a way of me sort of processing all that.
Great. So kind of going back to what kind of inspires your songs and things. You obviously said you grew up in church, you've got a faith. But you're not kind of what people kind of call a traditional kind of Christian. You're not writing kind of worship songs and like. So what's that like in kind of producing your own songs? Do you kind of feel that you're able to kind of express a little bit of your faith through it, even if it's not kind of directly, or would you just say that kind of a happy other thing of?
Yeah, definitely. I think having a faith, it's like part of everything that I do and who I am. But I think I've always felt that I've just wanted to write songs that could reach a mainstream audience, and I just, like I said before, I write about my experience, and sometimes that will include aspects of my faith. I mean, I released a song called Graveyard in October, last October, and that kind of, it does have some reference to my faith in that one. Like the end of the song, it's kind of talking about finding a safe space to grieve, and I kind of use the graveyard as a metaphor for God, sort of like finding that safe space to sort of let go and just be honest with how you feel. So Yeah, yeah, it's kind of it's hidden in all of that, really.
Great. And so do you have any projects running in the lineup? Do you have any more songs you're planning on releasing soon?
Yeah,
Anything you can give us a little hint for?
yeah, I'm doing a lot under the wraps at the moment. So I've been working on a few songs for myself, and then I've been doing quite a few collaborations as well, which I'm excited to see when they come out. Yeah, I've been working with an artist called Mano. He's also part of the Orphan No More community, and we were actually writing a song last night, which was yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoy working with other people because sometimes being a singer-songwriter can be quite isolating, quite lonely. So yeah, it's really fun to see what comes out in that space, and it always brings something new when you work with someone else. So yeah, and like another artist I've worked with is Pyramid Park. Don't know if you've heard of Pyramid Park. So he's been working on an album, and I've sung something on that. So I'm sure you'll hear more about that in the future. But yeah, it's been really
fun. So if people do want to hear more from you, where can they find you?
So the main place is probably Instagram at Susie Mills Music. That's where I post everything that I'm up to, everything that's coming up, gigs and music and everything. So you can find me there.
Great. So that's Susie Mills Music. I'm guessing they can find you on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those.
Yeah, I'm on all the streaming platforms. And anywhere you find music, I'll be there.
Cool. Great. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.